Okay, so in my video today, we're going to focus more on how to answer questions versus the actual teaching method. I am giving a video as a something to help, so you know kind of the lesson behind it, but a lot of times we have to focus on how to answer the questions. So in this question, how many times greater is 27,000 than 270? We're looking at the numbers 27,000 and 270. So I always ask students to pull out the numbers. So we have 27,000 and 270. Now I always tell students in a question like this, and even in the other ones, the zeros will tell you everything you need to know. So you're going to look at what's the lower number? Well, 270. So we want to know how many place values were jumped between 270 and 27,000. Well, 270 has 1 0, so we take off 1 0 here, and we take off 1 0 here. Now, other than the base numbers 27, how many extra zeros are there? Well, there's 1, 2. So 27,000 is 100 times greater than 270. Now, most questions are going to be put into this type of a setting. It could be in many different forms, but this type of setting. So the question is, how many times greater is the value of 7 in 273,641 than the value of 7 in 16,782? Sounds like a lot, but when we really break it down, it's not all that crazy. So essentially, we want to get back to a problem similar to this. So what I ask students to do is to pull out those numbers. And remember, we're looking at numbers as a whole, not digits at this point. We want to pull out the numbers. So we have 273,641 and 16,782. Now, to get back to that other way, we need to say, okay, what digit am I looking at here? Well, in this case, we're looking at the digit of 7 in both of these numbers. So I'm going to underline, okay, we're looking at the 7 here and the 7 here. Now, remember, here's where it comes important, those digit values. Okay, well, we need to think about what place values is in. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, then 10,000s. There you go. Now I need to pull out that digit value. So remember, 10,000s, it's 70. Or we could say we're looking at the 7 digits, 7. Turn the 3 to a 0, comma, and then we change all these numbers to 0, 0, 0, 0. Then we look over here. Where is this digit of 7? Ones, tens, hundreds. So this is not 7, it is 700. Now we're back into the format as before. This is much easier to work with, but I will guide students that they have to, and I can't stress this enough, pull out the digit values. It can get really confusing on these questions if you just look at this as a whole. So please get them to pull those out, write it down. So we look, what's the smaller number? 70,700. Well, 700 is. How many zeros are in 700? 2. So we take off the 2 over here. How many are left? 1, 2 zeros. So it's 100 times greater. Now again, in a question like this, we really are looking at what digit and the value. Here come those values again. We really need to understand the values that we're looking at. So in this question, it says, which numbers have a 8 that is 10 times more than the 8 and the number above? Well, 10 times more, that's 10. We have 1 0 in the 10, that means it's one place value. So we're looking at which digit here. 8, good. So we're really looking at this 8 right here, and it says which numbers have a 8 that is 10 times more. So essentially we're looking for an 8 that is 10 times more. That would be one place value over. So again, I would pull out that 8. Ones, tens. The value of this digit is 80. So if it's 10 times more, we're looking for and I said it's a 1 over, 800 value. So when we look down, A, 7,846, no other numbers matter except for the 8 digit. So in here, 8, what's the value of this 8? 800. Oop, that's 10 times more than 80. So A would be an answer. What about B? All we're looking at is that digit 8. Here it is. But that's in the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So that's 8. Change them to 0, 0, 0, comma, 0, 0, 0. 800,000. Well, that's a whole lot of extra zeros. We won't need that one. So I just indicate an X. Going over, oh, I guess I'll jump down to E at this point. So where's the 8? Here it is. No other numbers matter, just this 8 and what's its value. So the value of this 8 is 800. Don't mind my baby in the background making noise. Oh, there it is. 1 over 800. Done. What about over here at C? Just find that 8. Here it is. No other numbers matter. That is in the ones, tens, hundreds. 800, yep. 10 times more. One place value over from what was given in the 80. C. And last but not least, we'll look at D. Remember, we're looking at which ones have an 8 that is 10 times more than this 8 given. So that 8's 80. Let's look down here. Where's the 8? There it is. In the tens place. Ones, tens. That means it's not 8, it's 80. 80, 80. Well, it has to be 10 times more. If it's exactly the same, that can't be 10 times more. It's equal. So D would not be a selection. So most importantly, I can't stress enough, digit values. And also you have to make sure that we're looking at the digit value that is asked for, like 8 here. This one we were looking for the digit 7. And over here it was giving us that kind of 27. So please, please, please make sure you're looking at what digit is given and also digit values to determine how many place values are 10 times as many. Thanks for tuning in. Best of luck on the homework.